the gun, and then we'll go.
We'll never surrender.
Skin boots on a Saturday night.
Hello guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here, and welcome back to an all new Black Ops 3 Zombies DLC 4 Revelations video. Now today we're going to be going over some leaked information for DLC 4 Revelations that is in fact coming directly from the game's code. Now unfortunately this information is quite old now, it's very old, so some of you guys may already know about this information, but hopefully some of you watching this will be the first time you hear about this information. As you guys know, I was on holiday for like 2.5 weeks, so this information arrived when I was on holiday, so unfortunately I wasn't able to cover it right when it was released, but nevertheless I'm going to be covering it today for those of you who may have missed out on this information. Now if you do go on to enjoy this video, by the end of it make sure to drop a like down below. It just shows that you support the video, as well as subscribe to the channel so you never miss a future upload here on the channel. But as he said, there's been a load of code that has in fact been added into the game in regards to DLC 4 Revelations after one of the recent updates, and for some weird reason there seems to be a ton of code in relation to DLC 4 Revelations that hints towards the Magwa returning. Yes, that's right. As you can see from the code here, there's an absolutely ton of code in relation to the Magwa. It's basically all of the standard code that we've seen from Shadows of Evil, obviously, such as it talks about you shooting it when its head's open. It talks about the alternative to using the sword to hit its head as well, which is weird because I doubt we're going to be getting the Shadows of Evil sword in DLC 4 Revelations, so it's interesting as to why within the code for DLC 4 Revelations it references back to the sword. Now as he said, this code is only for DLC 4 and it's only recently been added after one of the recent updates, and some people are thinking that maybe we will be getting the Magwa returning within DLC 4 Revelations. As we obviously know, it's most likely going to be set in the Infinite, in the house per se, and we will most likely be in the forest, as we've seen Dr. Monty and the characters within the forest. But why would they bring back the Magwa? Some people are thinking that maybe there's going to be some sort of new variation of the Magwa, maybe mixed with a Panzer. Can you just imagine a freaking Magwa in a freaking Panzer suit? That scary thoughts. But what I think is going on here is maybe this is referencing to the main Easter egg. Maybe it's not going to be a physical boss that we fight within DLC 4 Revelations like the main boss. That being said, we have seen the Panzer sold out on Origins and then it returned within Der Eisendrache, so what if we're seeing a similar thing here and the Magwa may be the main boss for this map? Another theory that people have been having in relation to this code is that maybe like a ton of bosses from the previous games, maybe even all the bosses, will all be just mangled into one map. But in my personal opinion, that would just be way too hectic. Can you imagine the freaking Avogadro, the Panzer, the freaking Brutus, just all of this shenanigans just chasing you? It would be absolutely ridiculous. But we know that obviously DLC 4 Revelations is most likely going to be taking place in a big apocalyptic battle between the Apothicons and the Keepers. And obviously the Magwa is an Apothicon, so it would suit the stance, it would suit being in this map if it's going to be some sort of big apocalyptic battle. And we've obviously seen from the mural within Shadows of Evil, we saw a depiction of the Origins characters, or premise, the original quote-unquote versions of the Origins characters. We also saw Pablo there, but we saw the Magwas, as well as some other weird squid creature in this mural, hinting that maybe we will be seeing the Magwa returning within this DLC 4 apocalyptic battle. Now bear in mind that this is found within the code, so it's all subject to change, but we may be seeing the Magwa returning within DLC 4 Revelations. As he said, I don't know if it's going to be some sort of new variation of the Magwa, or whether it's going to be, you know, not even the main boss. It could just be seen within the Easter egg, for example. Now another thing that was found within the code seems to be in relation to the main menu, because obviously after you complete each of the Easter eggs you get a green gateworm that shows up on the menu. However, when you complete the Shadows of Evil Easter egg you instead get a summoning key. Well, according to the code that has recently been found, after you complete the DLC 4 Revelations Easter egg, for some weird reason you get a gateworm again, which makes no sense because you only ever get a gateworm after you kill a character and the soul's absorbed within the summoning key, just like we've seen within Shadows of Evil. So what could this mean? And the interesting thing is that within the code it's highlighted as Genesis, and back in Origins the code name for Origins was indeed Genesis. A lot of people have been speculating that we may indeed be seeing a Origins remake for DLC 4, which I'm actually going to be making a whole video about in the future. This is not confirmed obviously, so maybe if there is indeed be this weird Origins remake, which as he said would make no sense. Maybe that's what the Gateworm's for. Now within the code there has also been found child versions of the Origins characters, specifically Takeo here, and we obviously saw within the Origins ending cutscene the characters within the house, and now obviously the 1.0 souls have gone up into the portal at the end of the good old Krovi Easter egg, and from that we can assume that when the 1.0 characters enter the house and enter this other dimension, for some weird reason they go into this kid format, and this has led some people to believe that we may indeed be playing as kid versions of the characters instead of either their 1.0 versions, instead of Primus, instead of the Origins characters. Or maybe what this is in relation to is maybe we'll be playing as another version of the characters, but maybe within the Easter egg we may encounter the children, and this is what the code's referring to. And we obviously know that Eddie, Samantha and Maxis are already in the house, and for some weird reason the house and this dimension which the house is in seems to be a lot more valuable than all of the other dimensions. We obviously hear the Dr. Monty quote that says that although there's multiple versions of the characters, and although each of their versions within all of the different universes are slightly differing from each other, they are essentially the same person, just like a cracked mirror. Although they are cracked off into slightly different versions of themselves, they're essentially still the same person, as if the children are the right version that we're supposed to save. And maybe for some weird reason this specific universe is special and we're going to be trying to cancel out the other universes so that there's only one universe, which is the one which the house is in. And we've obviously got the blood vials as well, which is going to be used as a reassurance policy, some sort of backup plan if everything goes wrong in DLC 4. Now Dr. Monty obviously says that we must do everything right, obviously within the trailer that we got not so long ago, so maybe that right thing is, as he said, saving the children, but I can't help but feel there's a lot more to the children that we're just not understanding. There is definitely something big that we're missing here. Why is this specific universe more important than the others? And as he said, I think we're going to be cancelling out the other universes as they're all bleeding and ripping into each other, and I think we're going to be cancelling that out to just one single universe, although that will be our aim, I would assume. I think that's what our aim is going to be, but I'm not sure whether we will indeed achieve that in DLC 4, and maybe that's what the blood files are, to restart the cycle. Now within the code there has also been found some code in relation to the Apothicon servant. Obviously Jason Blundell has hinted that it's not upgradable currently within Shadows of Evil, and so most of us have assumed that it's only going to be upgradable once DLC 4 Revelations is released, and it seems like that's going to be the case, as you can see from the code here. Now what some people are thinking is that it's not physically going to be available on the map that is Revelations, obviously, and some people are thinking that's going to be a bit of a cross-map Easter egg. We got to do something on Revelations in order to get the upgrade on Shadows of Evil. I'm going to be posting a future video in the future going over some more leaked details in regards to the upgrade to the Apothicon servant once DLC 4 Revelations is released, because it seems like, as he said, we're going to have to do something on Revelations to get it onto Shadows of Evil. But I'm going to be making a future video about that. Some things are still a bit unclear, so I just want to make sure everything's fact checked. But hopefully you have gone in to enjoy this video. As he said, I know this leaked information and leaked code is about 2 weeks late at the time I'm actually posting this, but as he said, I was on holiday, so unfortunately I couldn't cover it when it was released, and I know a lot of you may have already heard about this information, but I'm sure that there's some of you who may have not. I will leave links to the Reddit posts down in this video's description to where I've gotten this information from. I'm sorry that this is so late, but there's not really that many people who cover leaks and stuff like that and stuff from the code, so maybe you haven't stayed up to date with this information, and hopefully so hopefully this video still has use to a good proportion of you. But anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for latest and greatest Black Ops 3 Zombies news information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye. Are you guys interested in getting free COD points for 100% free supply drops and or liquid Davidium? Well, have I got news for you. There's going to be a link down in this video's description where you can download a 100% free app. Upon downloading this app, you can then install apps via this app as well as sharing the app with your friends to build up a ton of points which can then be used to get 100% free Xbox One, PS4 as well as Steam cards which can then be used to get 100% free COD points and or DLC. Hopefully this helps.